Gentlemen, here it is. Ready, go. This match has begun.
Yeah, and we'll see how they decide to play this out. One thing that I know that we were just mentioning the content creator bash that happened yesterday, but the prevalent of Slowbro has been something that I've been really interested in and just watching it go down. And you do see this invade trying to come out from Tibby right now, but Don's Edge is just ready to answer it. They haven't dropped a lot of it down. Instead, they're just going to go ahead and focus down the character. Can they get this first initial pick going their way? And Don's Edge is going to be able to clean that up. And now it's just going to make it easier for the rest of the team to go ahead and farm up. May have missed out on a little bit of lane experience, but we'll take that in order to prevent a full invade here.
Right, it was nicely done from Griefers, because you did also see that as Don's was taking them out, it allowed their Dragonite right there, their, of course, Dratini right now, to go ahead and just kind of get back to business as usual. So it wasn't as much of a disruption as sometimes we could see, especially in Kanashi and I had watched Japanese meta when this was especially first unfolding, where you'd see these Greedent invades early on, of course, as the Squabit. And so, like I said, that was pretty well done for Griefers in a situation that just kind of sucks in general to have to fight.
Yeah, it just made it a lot harder for them. And now we do see a couple evolutions on the side of Griefers, just making it just giving them a little bit more time here. And now Tibby once again showing themselves in front of the Dragonair there, gonna get quickly bursted down. And now Griefers might be trying to get this Dragonite online before, you know, the first Dreadnought. If they happen to get it to level 7 or level 8, actually level 7, it is just enough pressure to go ahead and take whatever they want, especially objectives wise, once they have that Hyper Beam available.
Pretty nice early dunk in there from Griefers. That's going to bring them up to 39 right there with that 21 dunker. So looking pretty good, but we are noticing, obviously, Tacenda Black wants to put this pressure on them, move them back here on this bottom path, because that was really a victory for the top path. But we're noticing 4 from Tacenda Black here all gathered up, leaving that Azumarill, of course, to his own lonesome. But obviously that was Freak, who maybe if they had the tree earlier might have actually withstood some of that punishment that was happening. But still, Azumarill, it's not like Azumarill is just a little toothpick. You know, you do have a little bit of tankiness there with your Azu as well. So we're just going to have to see, obviously, if this is going to be a thing, a theme, let's say, maybe for the rest of the match. Still, TB staying as that Squabit, though. We need that KO. We need that just one little burst of experience to get us up here to become that Greedent.
Yeah, they do need to evolve pretty soon. We are gonna approach into the first Dreadnought here, so we'll see if a lot of these teams are gonna start rotating down. They do have the Hoopa available, so we do see the rotations coming out, at least on this side for Griefers at the moment. Tacenda Black might be trying to answer back with their own play pretty soon. There's their hyperspace hole. Go ahead and bring down the rest of the team, and now they're trying to get Risa potentially down, get them out of position. The safeguards are also going to be popped. We do see Dreadnought already down to half, and a lot of teams going after it, but looks like the Griefers are going to be able to go ahead and get that, and now are looking to go ahead and wipe the rest of Tacenda Black, applying that pressure and making it really difficult for them to go ahead and defend this.
They actually did a really good job, I would say, if you're on Griefers, not just getting that Dreadnought, but it was for so long still holding Tibby off from that final KO. At that stage, when you just have that 4 and you see the experience bars all the way up, you do need to last hit that wild farm, and they were preventing that for so long. So again, it was really prolonging that process, which was great on them. Because you can see, obviously, we're now looking at a situation where this match has a level 6 Greedent in it to level 10 Dragonite, for example, level 9 Slowbro. So, you know, this is stuff that can be made up with the right play, and of course they are going for Rotom right here for Tacenda Black. Obviously going to be disrupted a little bit, and that Rotom will go for Griefers right here. So they are looking solid Griefers if they want to just keep on applying this punishment. You know, they've been putting on the pressure exactly where they need to, right, with that Greedent. We just talked about the Dread, of course, and so now Rotom did touch down, so they're going to have to see what's the math we can do to just kind of get as many points as we can on this, and they have free reign to do so.
Yeah, they're trying to overcap that front goal as much as possible here, trying to maybe even get somebody up so that they could get level 50 and dunk the most in. But if it's just a 40 dunk over, we will be taking that as well. The thing that I think is really just dominating this game right now is Griefers' use of Dragonite. It's just securing so many of these last hits for the side of Griefers that they can have whatever objective they want. They're just ready and in position. Once they have that going and going for them, they essentially just get whatever objective they want for free. So it is a lot of pressure having to fight into Dragonite, and especially a Dragonite that is ready to go, level 11 already, and is just eating up objectives like I do for breakfast.
Very nice. Well, speaking of objectives, right? We got that Dreadnought right here, and you were also speaking of the Dragonite. That's a good analysis because this Dragonite may be the one to actually hit that Dread. And what do you know? Left side team with the Dragonite's profile. So there you go, Kanashi, calling it like it is as always. Thank you. And that is actually going to be several players down, of course, from Tacenda, and they still have that lone Greedent, maybe a Greninja to come create some kind of resistance right here. That goal has 4. It's ready to, it's prime and ready really for a nice overcap if they could get it. But you know, you don't have to rush this thing, right? You've got the bees right here. You've got the full Tacenda team coming, so you can reevaluate these things. It's nothing wrong right now.
Yeah, and you already see the damage coming out. Already 2 KOs for the side of the Dragonite, looking for another one. Can he land the Hyper Beam? Not gonna. He's gonna get pushed by the Phantom Force, but it's already dunking in, trying to get that 50 through, and it's gonna be the case here. They're looking at Morning, and they're gonna say goodnight to Morning there, as they are gonna continue to push on forward. Reggie's trying to be the one man out to go ahead and defend against this, but Griefers already has the damage up there and is ready to go. Meanwhile, Freak trying to go ahead and take down this Rotom, but the rest of Griefers is already up here to go ahead and harass and steal it. And that's going to be the case. Resun going to be able to go ahead and claim the Rotom for the team, for Griefers, as they're going to go ahead and keep pushing this through. Freak dropping dangerously low, going to get out of there with barely any HP, but at what cost? They are going to lose a Rotom and now have to go and defend against it.
So it's at this stage of the match, I think, that you can kind of say, whether you're a viewer, a commentator, or just on looking at what is going on right here. Of course, Griefers picking up that Rotom, it really did leave them at one of the last big objectives. They will still have a chance at Dread, of course, both teams. And so then you have to wonder, all right, so is this going to come down to the Zap Flip, right? What does Tacenda Black need, essentially? Because yes, they are on fire. We're going to see exactly what Griefers see on their screens, which is they have a huge lead. And so right now, being up with 245 right here, this is a pretty big difference at this stage. Obviously not undoable or anything like that. Anything can happen with Zap. It's just what we're trying to say right here, and the picture that I'm trying to paint is just really Griefers has at every step of the way done really well with each of these objectives, each of these plays. A lot of this micro macro has been going really well for them, and they'll pick up that final Dread too. So once again, you know, we're looking at a match that really is dominated so far by Griefers, and they're even going to bring down Greedent right here before this Zap.
Yeah, and they still have 20 seconds to either farm up what they want, get in position, or even take the fight to Tacenda Black if they want to. But it is going to be a really tough uphill battle for Tacenda Black. You don't only see, like, you know, the level disparity going between the two, but also just how quickly they have to go ahead and move in order to score here. They're trying to get that double cap in here as quickly as they can, but Griefers already in position, bursting down the Zapdos, trying to get whatever they can. And once again, it does come down to the way how Dragonite operates, having enough pressure. Go ahead and grab that. Gonna go ahead and score, and then maybe even TP back, maybe even score more. We'll see how much Tacenda Black wants to take, or if they can take anything here, as Griefers is still pushing on forward. Gonna be dunking in another 300 in that main goal, and that is gonna be the quick surrender coming out from Tacenda Black. But yeah, I felt like Griefers Dragonite was just all over the place. Didn't really give him any space to operate, and just made it really tough for Tacenda Black to even adjust to that.
Unite runs on Hundo Duncan, and we saw plenty of them that time, ladies and gentlemen, because, of course, your Griefers are going to win 545 in that match to 161 right now for Tacenda Black. We are going to see the match painted here in a line graph, but I think you pretty much knew that that was exactly what was going on. You know, us from the spectator seat, at least we get to see the score the whole time, so we sort of have that advantage over players, but really, you didn't really need a line graph to tell you exactly how this match ended up right here. So we're obviously seeing who's wearing the crowns right here. It makes sense, but that Dragonite, once again, Kanashi pointed it out several times, but that Dragonite really kind of deserved another crown as well if they could have multiple crowns to give. You know, so Stanley Fishy, good job right there for the Griefers. 50K on that damage, and obviously with that 15 assists.
Yeah, may not have gotten a ton of the KOs on the opposing Pokemon, but definitely got more KOs on the actual objectives that they needed. Not only Zapdos, but I think Dreadnought twice as well. So it's just amount of pressure that they're able to apply to the opposing team just made it so difficult for them. And yeah, I feel like if you're Tacenda Black, you have to make a quick adjustment, try to figure out a way how to get, you know, griefers either off of this Dragonite pick or at least punish the Dragonite pick moving forward. So we'll see if there is going to be an adjustment coming out from Tacenda Black.
And so we know, of course, you guys there at home that are viewing in our chat and stuff, feel free to cheer on your favorite team right now. I'm sure Tacenda Black needs a little bit of the motivation, right? They need a little bit of this hype built up for them. So definitely feel free to do so in our chat. We love to say hi to you as well. Kanashi, it's just always an honor to cast with you, of course, but we're here for Pokemon Unite Blitz number 4, you guys. And so we want to see the action just only turn up as we continue right here, because now we're not looking at that best of 1 like we did in the previous match. Now we actually have the opportunity to see if these teams, Tacenda Black especially, are they going to adjust some things? Are they going to make maybe cripple that Dragonite if we see it come back? That's a little bit harder to do too when it's in the central area, you know, because you even saw that Tibi maybe made the attempt with that greed, you know, trying to make that invasion early on. That might be one way that you do it, but it got shut down relatively easy for a difficult play. And so like we say, you know, it's just how do you counteract this Dragonite? You know, you're going to need possibly a Dragonite of your own, or you're going to need a last hitter, you know, for some of these objectives, somebody to go ahead and take them on out. And so we want to thank you so much. That's Rex right there said, my favorite is Banger. There's Banger X2, and he said, especially Artreyu. Well, you know what? That actually goes for me too. I don't like to put too much personal bias or whatever in my commentary, but boy, do I love Artreyu. Wonderful player and wonderful person. So, yeah, keep sending out your thoughts right here.
Yeah, so we are going to be waiting on this as we speak right now. Final or game number 2 in our losers finals match between Griefers and Tacenda Black. We apologize for, you know, the first team Bangers X2 for having to wait a little bit longer for these matches, but we are going to get them underway, and hopefully we will be able to bring you a good cast this time around. But yeah, Stanley Fishy was one of the main players in this last matchup. They definitely have to figure out how to answer back, and if it's Reggie's here on their Dragonite as well, it might be the right answer. So we'll see if that is going to be enough for them to go ahead and take this matchup. But it is going to be definitely an uphill battle for this team. Hopefully they have enough for a mental reset and are ready to go ahead and push on forward. So Griefers definitely in the driver's seat, taking the lead currently 1-0, but Tacenda Black looking to clap back, and we'll see if that is going to be the case moving forward.
Well, you know, Freak gonna be running as that tree, and we saw it in our chat. You know, Rex was saying freak on tree, make it happen. Ladies and gentlemen, I've also heard somebody in college who said freak on tree, so this is it has different meanings for me personally. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, Tacenda Black gonna be rolling here on the purple squad. Griefers gonna be on the orange this time, of course, and I just gotta say it once again, our trio is in our chat, so I just, you know, it's almost an obligation for me, but I love her. She is great, so I'm a big fan. Thank you for being here. So anyway, here we go, Kanashi. What do we got? First 20 seconds right here. Lucario back in the mix right here for Tibi. We know that Tibi knows how to play Lucario. It's just how much has happened in the meantime since the olden days.
Yeah, a couple of changes here and there have actually caused Lucario to maybe even have to, you know, switch up the pickup here. But going back to something that's a little bit more comfortable for them, Tibi going to be on this Lucario. Hopefully going to be able to get a little bit going their way, but Stanley Fishy also applying a little bit of pressure coming out from jungle, having both those buffs, might be able to grab somebody on the way out, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Both these teams are going to be playing up a top goal here. Going to go ahead and move around the map a little bit. I feel like this is going to be one of the other matchups as well. You do see Freak on that tree, which is something that we did mention earlier, but we'll see how well the Slowbro is going to be able to stop some of this damage with that Scald. As we are slowly approaching and getting ready for a couple other matchups to go ahead and clean themselves up here.
Definitely right. We're also seeing D Palomino up in the chat. Pika Trainer 2. What's up, you guys? We also have Bad at Pokemon Unite 14. Hey, you're probably not that bad, right? Is that maybe it's Badat? You know, maybe you're making a different word. Okay, let me stop fooling around right here. We got a job to do. Don's Edge also had a job to do, which was to teleport out right here and then create some more grief. I mean, it's the griefers, so doing wonderful at that, I would say. Able to just successfully hyperspace hole on out of there, top up, and then let's get back on in the mix. Of course, D. Palomino in our chat right now. Did just want to say, had fun, obviously, in the days of spectating the giggling. So props to you guys if you're still running strong right here. And morning, if you want to speak of running strong, might actually be not running strong here in moments. So there it is right here. So ladies and gentlemen, we have a fight on our hands, both squads making some drop, but then there's that massive 29 for Tacenda Black.
Yeah, Tacenda Black is trying to send a message from that last game. They said, hey, we kind of just let griefers do what they wanted in that last game. So Tacenda Black also answering back with a couple of extra scores as well. So 30 seconds till the first objectives are going to be able to spawn up. We'll see if these teams are going to go ahead and get in position. They do have hoopas on both sides, so it's just a matter of finding the timing to go ahead and grab not only the second Bs, but also get down there in time for the damage.
Absolutely right. That's what we'll be looking for. And of course, with that Dreadnought, we got it on about 10 seconds. This is where you will typically see that hyperspace hole on the goal. So it is actually applied for griefers a little bit early on right here. They have most of the hands on deck already, though. So there it goes for Tacenda Black as well. We're going to bring down everybody for this. That Dread has spawned. So here we go. Not even a 3-2-1 can I count, because this match has already started with this team fight right here is what I should say. Dreadnought down past half. There's that Dragonite once again, and Tacenda Black is going to go ahead and take this, and it seemed like they handedly brought it down after that team fight was kind of in the mix, but notice what has been the outcome. Griefers going to actually knock out so many of their players, they can have this kind of main push on this bottom goal.
Yeah, they may have won the Dread, but the score is just really going into Tacenda Black's favor at the moment. They are still playing that defense, and the KOs are going to try to stack up here. So Tacenda Black going to be able to secure one. They might be going and looking at Risa next. We'll see if that is going to be the case, but no, they are going to just go ahead and rotate up. Griefers, you already see them have their hyperspace hole used, potentially rotate a couple of people up to top to go ahead and take that, but we will see if that is going to be the case for Tacenda Black. Are they going to answer back, or are they just going to go ahead and let this happen? They are going to hyperspace hole back up to top. That is going to be the case. You see the Phantom Force going to be popped there just to deal a little bit of damage. Freak dropping dangerously low, going to be able to use the curse to bring back and reset a little bit of their HP. And you do see Tacenda Black answering back this time, looking at griefers to go ahead and KO a couple of them. They are going to go ahead and break this front goal early. That way, when the Rotom is going to be pushing, it is going to be threatening that tier 2 goal.
This was nice from Tacenda Black to not only do that, but we also saw the dunk in on the bottom right here. And so they can pretty easily, handedly take this Rotom. So that was expected. We're going to now have to see what griefers can do. You know, they have 9 points on the board, but are we going to be able to defend against this Rotom while also making all the necessary steps that we're still going to need? Because we do have a Dreadnought to come. That's obviously still in just about 25 seconds now, as we can see on the map. But there's a few other pushes that you could make in the meantime, too, if you weren't having to deal with that Rotom. So again, Tacenda Black, you know, kind of handedly taking that portion of the match. This is still somewhat anyone's game, but we are seeing that with griefers only having 9 in right here, it could be indicative for the future of the game. If it kind of continues down this path, it means that griefers really hasn't had a chance to score that much, you know? They haven't had those opportunities to dunk. Perhaps the opportunities were there. It's just, for instance, they were thwarted on this bottom path goal, you know, earlier. So even with that momentum going. Anyway, the rings are unbound. Kanashi, let's see what happens at this Dread.
Yeah, both of these teams are rotating down here. Dreadnought already down to a quarter HP, but a Blissey is going to be able to secure that last hit, probably using the Egg Bomb in order to push people away. Already trying to deal some of the damage going that direction, but Tacenda Black losing a couple of players here, trying to answer back with a couple from griefers as well. They are dropping dangerously low. 2 from Tacenda Black going to be returned back to base, and griefers may have won the amount of damage, but lost the objective. We'll see if they continue to get more aggressive and might try to even push and score. They are really far behind in terms of scoring, but you know, there is still a lot of time left in this game. Doesn't mean that it's over.
That's exactly right. So we're going to see the hyperspace just in case they need it, but although it might look like Don's Edge, no, going to actually skate away from that, so that's fine. We are going to see, obviously, the tree pulling off our Unites here. We are looking at a massive, I would say an intense skirmish more so, I guess, right here on the goal. And so obviously Tacenda Black still looking to kind of drop in even amidst that, which is kind of, it's a little bit daring, I would say. You know, you're a little brazen on that to drop in while that fight is going on. Obviously, lots of stomps going on with our Zarina right here. So Risa doing much of the damage right now, but Blissey still kind of hanging out here, looking for kind of maybe that last egg grenade that we can drop on him with that egg bomb. And so they're making the attempts, but obviously still a little bit more backup this time from Tacenda Black, who will walk away, I would say, with most of the wins from that. kind of small skirmish right here. Obviously still able to, with TB, hit this Rotom as well.
And that is going to be the case. They're going to go ahead and focus on this Rotom. Even though they were fighting down at bottom, the interesting thing is, Nines this time picked up Soft Boil. It's not something that we normally see in competitive. Usually it is the safeguard to prevent any form of crowd control to be placed on a Pokemon, but this is a combo that I've pulled off personally in competitive matches as well. It's like sometimes you do need the Soft Boil just to have enough HP to go, and especially pairing that up with Freak is really important because they get to keep their HP up, especially when using Curse, and continuing on that pressure moving on forward, and just being able to replenish that HP is really important. But Griefers this time looking to potentially just take this last Dreadnought, maybe get a couple of scores in at the start of this next push, but we'll see if that is the case as they already secured this down.
We've got Where is Uno in our chat saying Freak's Tree OP, and it was actually, I guess it was me was talking about that last match, right? Because it was a Zoomeril Freak was running in the previous matchup, and I was saying maybe we just need a little bit more of that bulk from Tree. Not like a Zoomeril was unbulky, but it's just the point being this Tree has been working out for Freak, and so we do like to see that. Kanashi hits it obviously with the Blissey as well if you're going to be running Soft Boil perhaps, and so we are noticing Griefers maybe looking to sneak back here, but they also have it on the bottom, so we're kind of running this double sneak attack, right? And so this one actually with the diversion will make the top be a Hundo Duncan, and so right there we're just looking at a completely different match, as then Dragonite can go ahead and jump on in. Whether you got those rings unbound or not, Dragonite can Draco impact up in here and get those meteors a dropping, and that Zapdos has fallen now for Griefers to pick it up at that last second. And so obviously you see Tacenda Black really trying to make this stop, and they will pull off the KO against Blissey, but you still see some of those Hundo Duncan, ladies and gentlemen. You get Hundo Dunkans, you get Hundos. Pick me up a coffee on the way over right there, because we're going to see some more Hundo Duncan right here as Unite runs on Hundo Dunkans. And now, of course, Tacenda Black has a little bit of time to answer, but Kanashi is just about a minute left.
Yeah, they got to figure out a way how to get in here without dying here. And it looks like they are going to actually teleport themselves out of here, get ready for this next fight. And they're trying to heal up Freak, trying to deal a little bit of damage to this front goal so that they can continue to push on forward. But meanwhile, in the back line, you have Reggie's fighting off against this Serena, just trying to get a little bit of pressure. It's not going to happen. Serena's actually going to shut that down. So Griefers now trying to go ahead and get the run it back against Bangers X2 here, if they happen to go ahead and get this game here.
That's right, so we're gonna see this all transpire, and it's just about 20 seconds, so Tacenda Black would really have to pull off some of those Hundo Duncans. That's just, you see obviously a lot of their players down, and the assault on their bottom goal, so it's really not quite looking like that would happen, right? Because we're gonna now see that team wipe. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Griefer is gonna pick up another win on the board.
And that is going to secure and punch their ticket not only into the winners grand finals match here, but also into our prize pool breakdown. So the winner of this game actually is going to secure a little bit of money here, guaranteed at least $100 from this tournament. So really big game. Griefers did really well just controlling the tempo. It may have looked really bleak, but the way how they played around the Zapdos pit really secured down the rest of the game for them. So yeah, sometimes you can just win off of the little bits that are remaining. So good play by Griefers, just playing this out and making it work in their favor. But yeah, looks like that is going to be the case. Griefers going to be moving on forward up against Bangers X2. So really interesting match that we're going to be having later down the line.